Greetings! Bluetti is back with yet another model in their budget micro power station range as a direct upgrade for their aging 600-watt EB3A that just had its third birthday. Do you believe that? It's a toddler now. They call this one the Elite 30 V2, and it packs the same 600-watt inverter with a slightly larger 288 watt-hour battery, but in a more compact package, and claims some fast recharge times and an improved 10 millisecond UPS feature. But is it any good? Let's find out.
HOBOTECH.
Inside the Elite 30 packs a 288 watt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery rated to 3,000 cycles to 80%, or more than 8 years worth of daily cycling. This is an upgrade from the 2,500 cycles of the outgoing model. As for size and weight, this new version is smaller and lighter, being approximately 10 by 7 by 6.5 inches and clocks in at just under 10 pounds. With its built-in handle, it's one-hand tossable. As for the display, it's Bluetti's upgraded color LCD that they're using in virtually every new model. It's easy to see from virtually every angle. Contains 24 pieces of information. I don't know how they cram all that in there, such as input, output watts, time to charge, discharge, battery percent with icon, and so on. As for the inverter, it's a 600-watt pure sine with two 15-amp outlets. It does have an increased power lifting mode over its predecessor of 1,500 watts, which can only be used with certain resistive appliances that only use heat, but don't have any electronics built in, such as like a hot plate or one of those mechanically switched space heaters. I suggest never really using this feature unless you're sure it won't ruin your appliance, as it does drop the voltage dramatically to allow more amps. As for charging, the Elite is Bluetti fast. When charging from AC power with the included cord, you have 3 speeds available: silent, standard, and turbo. In turbo, it can charge at 380 watts for topping up the battery in 70 minutes. Silent and standard will do it at 200 watts in about 2 hours while keeping the fans silent. You can also go into the app settings and set a custom mode. Bluetti has included a 200-watt MPPT solar charge controller up front in this tiny box that can handle from 11 to 28 volts up to 10 amps through the front-mounted XT60 connector. This means you can fully charge the Elite from 0 to full in about 2.5 hours of sun. It also charges from 12 or 24 volt like any power station at 8 amps or 100 watts and 200 watts respectively, with the included XT62 cigarette lighter socket plug. But Bluetti's app does let you unlock the full 10 amps over 16 volts, letting you charge at the 200 watt max limit with a solar panel or external battery as low as 20 volts. As for 12 volt output types, this has 3. They're all regulated at 13.4 volts. You have the standard carport lighter socket rated at 10 amps, a pair of 5521 barrel plugs rated 8 amps and a single port, or 5 amps if you're using both at the same time. Kudos again to Bluetti for bringing back the 5521 outputs, as I use them quite a bit for a lot of my DC appliances. I find it to be a more stable connection than these things, which pop out, and then there's usually a fuse in there that blows, and these things fall apart. As for USB, the Elite 30 also rocks some upgraded USB ports from its predecessor. Now you get a pair of USB-C power delivery outputs, but one uses the new Power Delivery 3.1 protocol that allows for charging up to 140 watts. The other is a standard 100 watt output. There's also a pair of fixed 5-volt USB-A ports, good for charging up those dinosaurs. Like all current Bluetti models, the Elite 30 also supports Bluetti's remote access app that works with both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Even on this little model, they do support Wi-Fi. So you can control your power station from anywhere or nowhere if you decide to turn off the wireless transmitters, a feature you're going to find in all the new models. So if you hate wireless or in an environment where you can't use wireless, you can simply go into the hidden settings and turn them off. Now, I covered this in several recent Bluetti reviews, so I'm not going to go through the whole process again, but it is described in the manual. All you have to do is hold both the AC and DC buttons down at the same time for a few seconds. Takes you into the secret settings menu, which are app-free, so you don't need an app to change those settings. It will let you turn off all the wireless without using the app, which is great. I wish everybody would offer this. It's something pretty unique to Bluetti. I don't think anybody else does. As for the warranty, you get a 5-year manufacturer warranty from Bluetti, up from the 3 years from the old EB3A. And of course, I took the Elite 30 here to my secret lab where I performed all kinds of crazy experiments on it, including, let's all say it together now, a double-fisted battery capacity test. Okay, here are the results. A DC battery capacity test, it scored 274 out of 288 watt hours for a well above average 95%. As for the AC battery capacity test, it scored 260 out of 288 for an impressive 90%. Bluetti does claim they're using some upgraded circuitry inside to be more power efficient, and it shows. Well done, engineers. Next up, the phantom load parasitic drain test. That's where we turn on the DC and AC each individually, let them run for 12 hours, and extrapolate how much power does it waste sitting at idle. The DC consumption used 87 watt hours over 12 hours or 174 watt hours over 24 hours. Now, the AC consumption used 136 watt hours over 12 hours or about 272 watt hours over 24 hours. These results are a little higher than I expected for such a small power station. If you did leave the inverter on with no load, it would totally kill the battery in just one day. This goes to show you the downside of pairing a larger 600 watt inverter with a smaller 288 watt hour battery. The self-consumption of the inverter literally eats its own battery for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So if you do the math, this works out to 11 watts of wasted power at AC idle with 7 watts of wasted power for DC idle. Now this is about 40% over what it should be. And I did upgrade to the latest firmware before doing any of these tests, and I also did run the battery down and recharged it twice to do those capacity tests before doing this test. And according to this chart I got from Bluetti, the AC consumption should be closer to 8 watts and the DC around 5 watts. So I'm not sure what's really going on here. 11 watts is certainly high for a 600 watt inverter. Maybe a firmware update in the future will calm this down a bit. Now, I'm always asked how long stuff's going to run on these power stations, so compensating for usable capacity, which we just figured out. You can pause the chart I'm going to put up here on screen to see approximately how long common appliances run on this unit. Do note, it's not going to run things like air conditioners and large appliances because it's got a little baby 600 watt inverter. Results of the pure sine wave check under load was 118 volts at 60 hertz, that's pass. Inverter capacity test at max load, we're able to pull 900 watts for just under 5 seconds. That's a pass. The cooling ability heat soak test, which we run for 5 minutes at its 600 watt rated capacity, that also passed, with no weird smells, sounds, taste, or flavors. The inverter fan noise, we registered at a whisper quiet 44 decibels, and that's at maximum. So this thing is super quiet compared to its predecessor. Of course, we weren't able to do the 15 amp saw test or the solar degenerator test. Those are both 15 amp appliances. They'll never run any time on this thing. I did try to run my 5000 BTU mechanical air conditioner. No, it just completely killed it. Even with power lifting on, it will not start it up, and that's not surprising. Now, the max charge rate test on AC power, this was able to charge at 380 watts at fast, 200 watts when we set it to standard, and 200 watts when we set it to quiet. There didn't seem to be any difference at all between quiet and standard when it comes to fan noise. Now, the claimed solar input range for the DC XT60 input on the front, that's the MPPT controller, it ranges from 11 to 28 volts at 10 amps. Now, the DC charge rate, whenever we try to charge at certain voltages through the DC port, at 12 volts, we're able to charge at 105 watts, at 24 volts, 200 watts, at the max 30 volts, it also was 200 watts. Now, there is a bug that I have to report. I've noticed this the first time that I turned the thing on. I have updated the firmware to the latest version as of today, which is July 15th, 2025. If you notice, it always says 99.9 on the charge time. So even though I am charging at pretty redneck speeds here, I have 99.9 hours to charge, and we know that's not true. It's actually only a few minutes. I turn it off completely, it drops down to some kind of number of hours, 41.7. I'm assuming that's how long it would last if I just left it on. So it seems like the countdown on this only works in discharge mode, not in charge mode. I didn't see anything mentioned in the book like this is by design. I'm assuming it's a bug in the software that they will probably patch and firmware update, maybe even before this video comes out. As for the fan noise, I couldn't get it to make any noise whatsoever when charging with AC or solar. I did charge for 5 minutes. No fan came on. I'm assuming if it gets hot enough, there probably will be a fan eventually come on. As for simultaneous charging ability, we were able to charge at 380 watts with solar priority. This is standard for just about every power station out today. Now, for the most controversial test in all the interwebs, the UPS or uninterruptible power supply test. This is where we test to see if you have this thing hooked to the grid and you have a computer hooked up to it and the power goes out, will the computer stay running? So I have that hooked up to the switch box, which is hooked up to the grid. The inverter is powering the computer. So when I flip off the power and it stops charging, which it's currently charging at 360 watts, will the computer remain running or will it freeze up or shut off? So they claim a 10 millisecond switchover time, which is practically instantaneous. So let's find out. Place your bets. 3, 2, 1. It's no longer charging. The music video is still playing full screen, no problem. I'll turn it back on. I hear the relay click, and it's back to charging again. Let's turn it back off. Again, no problem. So this passes double thumbs up. And this is a backup UPS, not an online, so it does have a physical relay that switches between the wall grid power and the inverter power, and it does it within 10 milliseconds. We did test the carport output, which is 10 amps. So we were able to pull 10 amps at 12.4 volts. We were able to max it at 12 amps at 11 volts, which is pretty impressive. That means you should be able to run a small compressor off of that lighter socket. All the 12-volt outputs on this are regulated at 13.4 volts. Now, we did the USB output rate check with the dual USB-C ports, both 100 and 40 watt. We were able to pull simultaneously. That was a pass. Musician's favorite amp interference test, where we determine is the inverter clean or dirty. So I have this PV keyboard amp plugged in, all the knobs cranked all the way up, nothing else plugged in. I'm going to turn on the inverter and see what kind of noise we get out of this. So it sounds perfectly clean. So this is the smallest Bluetti I think that has ever passed this test. So if you're looking for something truly tiny that can run a small amp, now this is like a 10 watt or something like that, so it's not going to pull very much power. If you're looking for something to power a small practice amp in a portable scenario, this could be it. As for the AM radio interference, that registered pretty low. And the electromagnetic interference test, when we powered it on, it registered a low 4 to 10. And then when I turned on the DC port, it registered a low of 20. And then when we turned on the AC, it was a medium of 60. So that's about right for something this size. So what do I think about the Elite 30 V2? I think this replacement for the EB3A is long overdue, but was well worth the wait. They already squeezed even more power out of a smaller form factor when I already thought the EB3A was the best micro power station on the market 3 years ago, and that's why I bought several of those in the first place. Now, I'm definitely going to miss the wireless charger pad that they used to have on top, and Bluetti has gotten rid of this for some reason. It used to be their trademark. I hate carrying extra USB cords with me when I charge, especially when I camp, so I still will be using that old EB3A to charge my phone in my RV. But I will take this with me on my next camping trip for the fast USB-C ports, because I can use those for my new 140 watt power banks. I can also now finally charge 2 laptops at the same time, where I was limited to just one with the EB3A. So that was a little bit of a bummer on several occasions. The Elite 30 is also worlds quieter than the EB3A. When even in quiet mode, the EB3A would light up the room with an annoyingly loud fan several times an hour while plugged into UPS mode. And that to me was one of the glaring issues with the EB3A, and I couldn't end up using it as a UPS in my bedroom for that reason. Now that's no longer an issue with the Elite. Fans rejoice. Now, I don't know what's going on with that idle consumption. That's something they can certainly fix remotely with a firmware update, along with that display bug not showing the time remaining to charge. The rest is all pretty solid, and the faster and more stable 10 millisecond UPS will certainly attract a lot of buyers. And the reason for that is virtually all UPSs sold that are under $1,000 today still use old-fashioned lead-acid batteries that every 2 years you have to swap out. So getting something like this that can stay online 24/7 and run loads up to 600 watts for 8 to 10 years for under $200, Makes a lot of sense. Just be sure to also use a certified surge protector on the grid side of the Bluetti because it does not filter power or include any kind of surge protection. I've noticed quite a few comments recently stating how these power station products aren't true UPSs. Yes, they are, because UPS stands for uninterruptible power supply, which is what this product is doing with that 10 millisecond switchover time. It's making the power uninterruptible. What it's not doing is surge protection, which most dedicated off-the-shelf UPS products also include. Just realize surge protection and UPS are describing two different features that may or may not be included together in the same product. I have yet to see a single portable power station from any brand anywhere in the world that actually includes surge protection built in. It seems to be the natural progression of the current UPS feature as they're getting better and better over time. Their next step is going to be probably to include surge protection. So hopefully in a few years we'll see a Bluetti that includes it. Product price, and this is where you guys are going to be thrilled because the Elite 30 V2 retails on the website for $299 and you're never going to really pay that. But it's launching at $199 for the month of August, starting July 31st when this review comes out. However, viewers of HOBOTECH, that is you, will now be a discount on top of that price. That's going to bring that price down. We use that code at checkout to $189. That's 65 cents per watt hour or 31 cents per watt, depending on how you want to look at it. This is actually less than the EB3A launch price was 3 years ago. So you're not only getting a bigger and better product for less money, and at $1.89, it seems like quite the bargain to me. So if you're interested, the link and discount code is going to be in the description of this video. I'm also going to put a link here on the bottom of the screen. You can type in along with the QR code you can scan. If you're watching me on TV, you can use that with your mobile device, and it'll take you on over to the Bluetti store page where you can check out the Elite 30 V2. Thanks for watching, and until next time.
Odin commands you to like and subscribe, and clean my litter box.